Thank you, Universal Peace Federation, for inviting me here today to speak on an important and timely topic on working for a world free of nuclear weapons. What can the United Nations and civil society do? As Robin was saying, there are renewed hopes as new opportunities for global disarmament appear on the horizon for the first time in decades. There is a strong will towards nuclear disarmament, and this opportunity should be seized or must be seized. These include the Security Council Summit on Nuclear Disarmament and Non-Proliferation on 24th of September, chaired by President Obama. Talks between the Russian Federation and the USA for joint initiative to reduce their arsenal under START, which is Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty. There is also welcome news of President Obama's decision to scrap plans for a US missile defense shield in the Czech Republic and Poland. So all these things are happening. And of course, it's important, as Robin also said, because we are celebrating the UN International Day of Peace. Meetings like ours, which we are having today, are happening practically all over the world. And also, timely is to thank Universal Peace Federation for all the good work on an ongoing basis. And about yourself, you are thinkers and change makers. It's a privilege to be among peace campaigners. And you are the driving force for social change in our world. So today, what is the threats posed by nuclear weapons? Well, we have got our own system, Trident UK nuclear submarine, which we need to get rid of. But also there are bigger nuclear proliferation problems which require new proposals, new viable solutions, and a new mindset. As Albert Einstein said, the significant problems we have today cannot be solved at the same level of thinking at which they were created. So there are 30,000 nuclear warheads in the possession of the declared nuclear weapon states: USA, Russia, France, UK, and China, with arsenals on air trigger alert. On top of that, there is worldwide proliferation of nuclear weapons and technology, which is being deployed by countries such as India, Pakistan, Iran, North Korea, and Israel. When so much military hardware is available around the world, terrorists can easily create mayhem by indiscriminate mass killing and destruction. The NPT, for short, which is the Non-Proliferation Treaty, has been completely ignored by the major nuclear powers because under its provisions, nuclear powers have pledged themselves to negotiate nuclear disarmament and never to use nuclear weapons against a non-nuclear state. A pledge that has been ignored with the direct threats that that might be used if a nuclear state felt endangered. So in this presentation today, I will argue that nuclear weapons have no utility and that any security issues they are purported to solve would only be made worse by their use. There is no serious problem on which military action may be needed which cannot be solved through use of peaceful dialogue. Most disturbing is that possession of nuclear weapons is proliferating all over the world, which enlarges the possibility that they may be acquired by non-state actors. And especially the P5 states think it's okay for them to have the weapons because they were the first to have it and they are tolerable. But while such weapons in the hands of additional states are viewed as dangerous. Besides that, nuclear weapons with that bring in the nuclear accidents, effects of radiation, damage to environment, which poses great threats to our world. As nearly smashed you. The world remains concerned about nuclear activities in North Korea and Iran, and there is widespread support for efforts to address these concerns by peaceful means. Let me put it this way, the obstacles to disarmament are formidable, including the daunting challenges of multiple crises, which is we are facing today, which is food, fuel, flu, and financial crisis. But the costs and risks of its alternatives never get the attention they deserve. Consider the enormous opportunity cost of huge military budgets. According to SIPRI, Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, global military expenditure last year peaked 1.4 trillion. And US alone has to spend about 5.8 trillion, including the future cleanup cost of nuclear weapons. And we in UK spend about 3 billion just maintaining the trident we have got. So, put it simply, the world is overarmed and peace is underfunded. Military spending continues to rise every day. As I said before, it's well over a trillion. More weapons are being produced. They are flooding markets around the world. They are destabilizing societies. They feed the flames of civil wars and terror. Around the world, gun violence is the #1 cause of civilian casualties. Because of all these threats, there have been a global outpouring of ideas to breathe new life into nuclear disarmament. I'm just going to say a few, and also the United Nations 5-point plan as well, which is, one is the Weapons of Mass Destruction Commission led by Hans Blix, the New Agenda Coalition, Norway's 7-Nation Initiative, and it goes on, and also tremendous amount of civil society meetings, conferences. I had about a few this year, and may have 1 or 2 next year. The Hoover Plan by Henry Kissinger, and all this. Under the new American administration under Barack Obama, who is very much pledged and committed to show the world that America believes in its existing commitments under the NPT to work to ultimately eliminate all these weapons. Let me quickly say what are the 5 steps which United Nations is taking for disarmament and nuclear-free world. Number 1, disarmament must enhance security, which is the obligation of the NPT parties to fulfill their obligation under the treaty to undertake negotiations on effective measures leading to nuclear disarmament. Number 2, disarmament must be reliably verified. I think we are going to hear a lot about that, so I'm just going to say one line, that governments should also invest more in verification, research and development. Number 3, disarmament must be rooted in legal obligations, which means universal membership of multilateral treaties, that is the key, so as regional nuclear-free zones and a new treaty on fissile materials, which is the Fissile Material Cutoff Treaty. As you know, as you are aware, there are some free zones, and we need creation of more, which is the Central Asian, African nuclear-free zones. And we need especially one for Middle East. And let me say that the possession of our own trident nuclear weapons and of others is in violation of the Article 4 of Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, and also of Geneva Conventions, of United Nations Charter, of Universal Declaration of Human Rights. It's all against it.